Hello, how's it going today? Hope you are doing well. Still playing a little bit of standard today on Magic Arena. I have one deck left that I made last weekend that I think is pretty fun and I want to try it out on the channel. It is a Halvar Boros equipment deck. Not the most exciting or innovative deck that you can imagine. I'm sure a lot of people have tried it out, but I think I have a pretty good makeup for the deck, and I love playing equipment. And when I played the Gods deck, I don't know, about a week ago now, Halvar was pretty impressive in that deck, so it encouraged me to try out this one. Before we get into talking about the deck, I want to talk about last video. Last video was 4-color auras. If you haven't seen that video, go check that one out. I think it's probably one of my favorite decks that I've seen in a very long time. It works very well. It's super fun to play. Has tons and tons of power. But at the start of that video, I talked about some comments. Thank you again for all those comments. And on the last video, we have a couple more comments. We have comments from Brandon O, one of the original people that found my channel. Very nice comment from him, calling me the #1 new MTG guy. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And a new face to the channel, Samuel Webster. He likes the Auras deck. So I hope you tried it out yourself. Thanks again for the comments. Everybody else, please make sure that you're leaving a comment down at the bottom. I love seeing your feedback, or just say hi. It's always nice to see. All right, let's jump in to this deck. So, Boros Halvar standard equipment. Here's the deck. Let's start with the equipment. Of course, we're going to be playing Embercleave. Only playing 3 of them because the double strike has a little bit of I don't know. Halvar's already kind of doing that for our deck. I don't think I need the full play set of 4. However, maybe 4 is the correct number. Playing probably one of the best new equipments that I've seen in a very long time, Maul of the Skyclaves. When it enters the battlefield, it automatically attaches to a creature, and that creature gets +2/+2, which is pretty good. And then flying and first strike. So another kind of word soup card that Wizards likes to print these days. If our creature dies, it is a little bit hefty cost to equip it with 2 white, but we have a couple of ways to get around that. Next, we're also playing a couple of Shadow Spears, because Shadow Spear is also a very good card. Again, lots of text on this card, +1/+1, trample, and lifelink, and if it comes down to it, maybe we can remove indestructible or hexproofs from some of our opponent's creatures. I doubt that's going to be the case in Standard, but hey, it's nice to have it there. So only playing, oh, sorry, there is one more equipment. Halvar, the person the deck is named after, he's also an equipment. He is Sword of the Realms on the backside, +2/+0, and Vigilance to the creature. And then whenever that creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. So it's going to give the deck a little bit of staying power as the match goes on. Not playing much in the way of removal. I just threw in 4 shocks, something that can go face if I need a little bit of reach at the end of the game, something that can get rid of some of those really pesky early game creatures that the opponent might be on. So I think it's a pretty good card for the deck. Next, we're playing a lot of creatures because we need creatures to equip. Fervent Champion is a human knight, which a little unfortunate. I would have loved it to have been a warrior because of some synergy later on, but a human knight's good, and this guy is a beast with equipment because he has an ability that says equipped abilities you activate, the target Fervent Champion costs 3 less to activate. So if we do have the very expensive Maw of the Skyclaves on the battlefield, it's only going to cost white to equip it to the Fervent Champion. It's come up in testing. Never know. Additionally, Fervent Champion has some very good keywords. He's first strike and hasty, and he gives another attacking knight +1/+0. So if you have 2 of these Fervent Champions on turn 1, turn 2, you're attacking for 4. I've had games where my opponents have done that to me, and it has been miserable. They just kind of run away with the game because it applies so much early pressure. Fireblade Charger was one of the later additions to the deck, but I think he's absolutely fantastic. If he's equipped, he has haste. Maybe it comes up. Late game could be a way to kind of just steal a win if we put him out onto an empty board, equip something to him, give him haste. But the more important part is that when he dies, he deals damage equal to his power to any target. So this can go face to end the game. It can also hit a creature. And of course, he's just a 1/1. However, if we equip, Sword of the Realms on him, he'll be a 3/1. 3 damage on something, and then 3 damage to something else if that creature dies. So could be very relevant. He is also a warrior, which is important for the next card, Core Blade Master, he's a core warrior. Double strike. Equipped warriors you control have double strike. So the Fireblade will get double strike. The Blade Master himself is a warrior. He will get double strike. And we have one more warrior, Seasoned Hollowblade. This card, I'm sure if you've been playing Standard, you know this card. It's an all-star, super great card from M21. It is 1 and a white human warrior. Discard a card, tap Seasoned Hollowblade. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. He is a 3/1, which is quite vulnerable, but you can just discard cards to keep him alive. Pretty cool. Of course, we're playing a white deck, so Skyclave Apparition belongs in the deck. Again, if you know what it does. Akiri, Fearless Voyager. She's going to draw us some cards. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card. She's also a 3/3 for 3, and she has an ability that can give indestructible at some point during the game. So quite relevant. Maybe it'll come up. Mostly I want her in the deck for a card draw. The only kind of non-bow with her is Embercleave Flash. Unfortunately, most of the time you want to attack first, then play the Embercleave onto one of those creatures where it suits you best. Akiri won't draw a card in that case. Otherwise, though, you're going to be attacking with Shadow Spears and with the Maw of the Skyclave and with the Sword of the Realms. She's going to be drawing cards with those cards. And then I mentioned the backside of Halvar, but I didn't mention Halvar himself. God of Battle. The reason I'm playing this deck, creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. We're not playing anything that is enchanted, but hey, maybe he could be fitting into a 4-color aura deck one day. I'll have to look into that. But if they're equipped, they also get double strike. So all of our guys with Halvar on the battlefield are going to get double strike. He also has a kind of a weird ability that I haven't really gotten the full grasp of yet, but his second one is at the beginning of each combat, so your opponent's combat and your combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to a target creature you don't control. So you're able to shuffle your equipment around. However, the equipment does have to already be attached to a creature. So in my testing, I've kind of found that it hasn't really been that useful. Yeah, we mostly want him for the first line of text there. And he's also a 4/4/4. Not bad. So that is the deck. Of course, lands. Sure, whatever. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm going to play best of 1 again like I did in the last video. See how it goes because it is still in the preliminary stages of the deck. I want to test it out a bit more and maybe make some changes. Then we'll mess around with best of 3 going forward. Anyways, thanks for watching these little deck tech. I hope you enjoy the games. Again, make sure you comment down below. Hey, if you want, like the video, love some subscribers. We're up to 22 subscribers, so not big yet, but we're growing little by little each week, getting some new people, and I appreciate all the new subscribers that have clicked that button. So, again, thank you very much, and enjoy the games. Bye-bye. Okay, trying some Boros equipment with Halvar, standard best of 1. See how we do. Okay, opening hand, no red mana, but we have a couple of equipments and a Seasoned Hollowblade that will be probably pretty hard for the opponent to deal with. So let's try it out. Okay. Lead on the plains and may as well throw out the Shadow Spear. Why not? Throne of Death, pretty neat. Self-mill, eventually draw some cards. Probably doing some nasty shenanigans over there. Okay, Rakdos build. Sure. Well, we lead on our first Seasoned Hollowblade. Hopefully, don't have to give him indestructible, but we'll see. In these colors, I think the opponent will have a hard time dealing with that. Can pitch the Fireblade Charger to some kill spells. Sure, still 1 for 1. There's the Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent just passing. He's looking at the Seasoned Hollowblade, probably thinking he doesn't have a really good way to deal with it. So I'll get rid of the Fireblade Charger. Why not? Gains Indestructible. And my turn. Well, there's the mountain. So I could load up the Hollow Blade with the Shadow Spear, or I could just throw out the Maw of the Skyclave. I think probably this is the better way to go. And then if we have to give him Indestructible again, we can always pitch. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I could pitch the planes, but then there's always Halvar. I would love to get Halvar out onto the battlefield next turn. Season Hollow Blade swinging in for 10. That would be pretty cool. There's a Rankle. Oh, well, Rankle ruins that plan, doesn't he? But he will have to sacrifice his own Rankle. Let's see if he chooses to go that route. Each player discards, each player sacrifices. Okie dokie. So what are we sacrificing, or discarding rather? Get rid of the planes, then I can't play out the Halvar. But then I could just play out the Season Hollow Blade next turn, hold back the Halvar, hoping to draw something good. I think if I just go out with the Halvar, he's going to be so vulnerable that it's probably not a good position. So I think it's the plains. And we will sacrifice that. Yeah. Well, we find the land. So again, could go out with Halvar. Kind of want to just go out with this Season Hollow Blade though. Yeah. And I'm going to hold the mountain in hand, I think. Yeah. I could have put out the mountain, equipped the Shadow Spear to the Hollow Blade, but I think holding back the mountain for discard is better. Well, okie doke. He chose Moonfolk. I didn't know Moonfolk was a creature type. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, I guess I have no choice but to go out with Halvar now. Hope that he doesn't have some kind of way to deal with it, like a Heartless Act. It would be pretty miserable. He is down to 2 cards in hand. Okay. Skyclave Shade, hard to say. Can't block. If it was kicked, it enters with 2+1/+1 counters, and whenever you have landfall, some stuff happens. You may cast it. Okay. So he only has a Bone Crusher Giant. Sure. Ambercleave, can't use it quite yet, but maybe soon. So probably the best thing to do is just equip Halvar. Decline that. Attack in for 12. Okay, opponent. Gotta have something good. We're real soft to removal, though. Okay. Ooh. Drawing big. He's got 2 black up. Let's see if he finds something. That is enough for a Heartless Act. Oh, come on. No, don't be like that. All right, and now we're in trouble. The opponent was able to find just enough removal to deal with what we were doing. And a Goldspan Dragon, making things a little bit more complicated. Oh, Ox of Agonis, right on time to draw 3. It hurts so much. Oh, wait, well, the opponent gave us a chance, though, because we do have hasty creatures in the deck. He is down to 3 life. He is holding up possibly removal. He has access to 4 mana in total. So, lots of things he could do. Okay. Gonna make a zombie. Still, we have the Maw of the Skyclave. It's possible. We need a big draw. It's almost good enough. Almost. Well, so we're going to lose this one, but not a big deal. I think, I mean, that kind of was doing what it was doing. Unfortunately, the opponent just had the right answers at the right time. Let's just, I'm not conceding yet because I'm hoping that the opponent attacks really, really poorly. It could happen, right? Alright, well, I'm pretty dead. Yipper. Oi. Pretty rough. Go on to the next one. Oi. Trying Boros equipment once again. Just got slammed by a Rakdos deck. He had a lot of removal. He drew the key removal piece right at the end. Not a whole lot I could do about that. So, got the creatures, kind of got the equipment. I think I keep it. Lead off on the mountain into the Fireblade Charger. Sure. Ooh, a mountain. Let's just attack first. Sure. Hiya, 1 damage. Take that. So I could put out the equipment, or I could put out the Blade Master. I kind of think I like the equipment. Sure. Next turn, if he plays out something of relevance, I can go with the pathway here and Skyclave it, which, yeah, that's probably good enough to Skyclave. And then if the Skyclave sticks around for a turn, can equip it with the Sword of the Realms. Not a bad card to be returning to my hand. It's got a Hellhound and a Frostbite, of course. Okie doke. Well, I guess I kind of like this better. She's vulnerable. He's not as vulnerable. Oh, gotta be careful. Yeah, I'm gonna put out the Season Hollowblade. I think that card is going to be a lot more annoying to deal with the opponent. And then next turn, if he attacks in, I could put out the Blade Master, giving the Hollowblade double strike. Maybe it's relevant. We'll see. If he attacks, I'm not going to block. I'd rather preserve. Okay, but forces me to block or to do that. Give it indestructible. Unfortunately, it taps it, so I can't really use it as a defensive tool right now, but that's okay. So, throw out the Blade Master, attack in for 10. Yeah, there it is. And hold back the planes just in case I have to give the Hollowblade indestructible once again. Okay. I wonder if I should have equipped the Sword of the Realm onto her. That was probably a misplay on my part, knowing that the opponent is on heavy removal. No block. Yeah, probably I should have used this 2 mana to put it on her. At least she would have returned to my hand. Okay, he's going to probably chump block with the Hellhound. Sure. Okay. In a bit of a position now. The Hollowblade's going to have a hard time getting through. Kind of got to hope to draw Maw of the Skyclave so we can get some flying action in. Yeah. Okay, things are not really going my way right now. Yeah, that would have been good last turn, wouldn't it? Uh, so I guess I'm dead. I guess I die now. If he has a land drop, he has lethal. There it is. Okay, a little unfortunate. The opponent had obviously 2 frostbites in the opening. The deck not very good against that little direct removal. Ooh, all right, bad showing for the deck off the start. It might get better. Let's go see. Okay, trying to make Boral's equipment work. So far, not really running into much luck. Opening hand here is acceptable, I guess. Keep that one. Yeah. Spot removal, big problem for the deck that just happened to run into in game 1 and game 2. Wow, I wonder if someone playing an Archfiend's Vessel is going to be playing a spot removal. Might be in a spot of trouble. Okay, so a little loot effect on a 2/1 wizard. Cool. Probably get hit for 1, sure. Crack the Fable Passage. Grab a mountain, I guess. Could just put out the Fervent Champion. He'd be a pretty good blocker against these two, but I can't imagine. Yeah, maybe that's the best play. I have to imagine that he has claimed the Firstborn into village rights, so I'd rather him not do that to my Seasoned Hollowblade because I think he'll be better later on. No attack with the champion. First time seeing this Fissure Wizard. I like the art on it. Cute little guy. Okay, he's got a Fireblade Charger of his own. Oh, it's a party deck. So we can enter the battlefield. Target opponent reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to the number of creatures in their party, which is 4 currently. You choose one of those cards. That player discards that card. Well, that sucks. Okay, cool. That's awesome that the opponent was able to get a full party out. Now I understand the wizard. He did take the maw. That's great. Great. Well, we get a free block there. Okay. So, got some options now. I kind of like just leading out on this. Putting out the Seasoned Hollowblade and then shocking something. And then next turn we can start going in with equipment. Opponent getting feisty. Oh boy. Got to imagine he has something. What could he have? That was dumb. Maybe that was equally dumb. Forgot what our own card did. Chalk it up to inexperience with the deck. That's all it is, right? That's how we learn. We make that mistake and then hopefully not make it again. Oof. That's pretty good. Well, I guess look at both of these. Probably going to take the maul. Yeah. Okie doke. And now we got a Death Toucher and a Menace thing to deal with. I don't know. Sure, let's go out with the Kiri. This Luris is going to eventually come into play. It'll be a bit of a problem. Do I want to double block? Maybe I don't want to double block. Do I care about 3 damage? Probably not. Alright. Hit me for 3. He's thinking about putting the Luris in hand. Oh, Cruxa. Good play, opponent. Okay. So we lose our champion and now kind of really desperately need, I think, an enchant or an artifact. That's not an artifact. Alright. Start attacking. Doing it the hard way. No equipment. Yes, sirree. That is a problem. Brutal. Brutal. I don't imagine he trades with the Luris. I would be fine with that, of course, but why would you? Yeah. Okay, so deck's not really operating how I want it to be operating. Obviously, the deck is very opening hand dependent. There's very little card draw. Akiri is the only source of card draw, and it's not a very reliable source of card draw at that. So if your opponent is kind of able to deal with some of the early things that you have, then here's the problem. I gotta block because I die to the Cruxa. If he deals 6 damage to me, I die. I don't really want to block the Archfiend's Vessel because no, now I can block it. No. He's not going to bring it back with Luris. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, if they're able to deal with your early game presence, it gets a little hard to come back, I think. You need to have that really good opening pressure from... Double Call of the Dark Dwellers. Death Dweller. Pretty good. And now that's a 5/5. Pretty awesome to see a party deck. Wow. That's the game. Also unfortunate, drawing a good number of lands. Sure, opponent. Do your thing. That's just rude. Okay, 0-3 with the equipment deck. Yeah. Let's run into some green decks soon. Next one. Okay, one more time. A couple more times, I'm sure. Not a great opening hand at all. Lots of lands, 2 Akiri. I don't like it. A little bit better. I think I'm going to do it this way. I want to have the double white for the Skyclave. Hey, there's the green. Swarm Shambler. Alright, now I really need double white with 2 of these Skyclave apparitions. Okay, sure. Grab a plains. Find it anyways. Wait, lead out on the Blade Master. What are you thinking about over there, opponent? You just play Old Growth Bridge, or Old Growth Troll, right? Is that the play? Oh, a ram through. That's pretty rude. And then do you pump it? You pump it. Okie doke. Well, he's going to get a little baby from this. Or he doesn't. Oh, it's only target spell. Right? Whenever a creature you control with +1/+1 counter becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls. Awesome. There's the Yorvo. Sure. Everybody's got interaction today. What's going on? What's today's interaction day? I don't approve of this. Let's get in with our champion. All right, thank you. Love Blizzard Brawl. What a cool new card from Kaldheim. Whew. Yeah, play it out. Would love to find an equipment card. Maybe there's not enough equipment in this deck. Could be the case. There's a problem card. All right, let's do this. Well, that is just fine. Hopefully that Maul stays on the battlefield, then I can Akiri next turn. Even if it doesn't, I can always equip it onto the Fervent Champion and then Akiri and start drawing some cards. Hey, that's a Halvar. That's a Halvar. So do I just play out Halvar and start double striking with the Skyclave Apparition? It puts him on a 1-turn clock, or 2-turn clock rather. All right, you got to deal with me somehow. No. Oh, I guess you got to do it. Okay. All right, opponent. Let's see if you can find an answer. It's not an answer. Yeah. Awesome. So, the secret to this equipment deck is don't play against black decks or red decks. Cool. Got one. On to the next one. Okay, so we are 1 in 3, trying to at least get a 2/3 out of this deck. This hand looks okay. Got double Shadow Spear, not the best thing, but always can pitch one to the Seasoned Hollowblade. We'll lead out on the first striking Fervent Champion. Don't read the card, opponent. Just block. Just block. He didn't read. He didn't read the card, I guess. I mean, there's no reason. Why would you make that block? All right. So I guess it's Shadow Spear time because it is a free equip onto Mr. Champion. I don't know what I'm going to do about the Aspirant next turn when it becomes a 3/3, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. Mono white, been seeing quite a bit of it in standard lately. It is definitely the little darling right now. Main deck Luris. Why not? Okay, Season Hollowblade it is. Play out that, and no attack. So I guess I'm going to be relying on this Embercleave quite a bit. Definitely would like to find a Maw of the Skyclave to get some flying, although that might be a problem in the air. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose a kind of counter at random it doesn't have, and then put that on it, and a +1/+1. There's Life Bounty back. So, I mean, blocking on the Fervent Champion earlier makes a lot more sense now that we knew he had a Luris in hand. So the crystalline golem gets flying. I think getting rid of the Luris might be okay. I'm fine losing my Fervent Champion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He didn't leave mana up to give it any kind of protection. Okay. I'm very fine with that. Sure. Luris was going to be a bigger problem as the game went on. Do I attack? I don't think I attack. Hang back. Alright. Play out the Fireblade Charger and see what the opponent's up to. Might have been better to put actually the Fireblade Charger out and then equip the Shadow Spear to it. Possibly. Okay, so he's got 2 layers of protection now. Going to make things a lot more complicated. And a lot of triggers. That's a big giant. Big giant. Some might call it a giant. With flying and death touch. Sure. Go get a plains. Not a plains, a mountain. What am I saying? No, it was a plains. Oh, it was a plains. My, okay. Let's hope that doesn't bite us in the ass at some point. So, I guess the plan is to attack in with both. Just to get the Embercleave onto the battlefield. No block. Okay. Well, going to be gaining a lot of life from this Seasoned Hollowblade. And the opponent hasn't found lifelink yet, so... Okay. I will be very sad if I draw a Halvar and I can't play it out. My brain said one thing and my fingers and everything else went the wrong way. He plays out a Castle Ardenvale and just makes a 1/1. Again, more counters. Is he going to go all in on this giant? Giant now has hexproof. Sure thing. Sure. Shit. Oh, double shit. Well, definitely attacking in with the Hollowblade. He blocks, I give it indestructible pitching. The Shadow Spirit's fine. he can give it indestructible as well. So I'm going to have to fight through what he's got going on over there. At least a little bit longer. I do get a little bit of damage through, though. 3 damage through. And still gaining 10 life. So, not the worst thing. I think... What do I want to do? Do I want to... Not having double planes right now is the worst thing in the world. Because I can only do one of these a turn. Do I want to play out the Sword of the Realm? And then next turn I can equip it to the Fireblade Charger. Makes things a lot more annoying for our opponent. I could also just put out the Seasoned Hollowblade. No, I think it's this way. Sword of the Realm is probably going to be more valuable in the long run. Alright. So we can still protect the Hollowblade. Now, he is playing white, so chances are, if he has any kind of removal, it's going to be like exile removal. And I'm not going to be able to get through that very easily. Daxos, big booty, 2/5. Just going to keep getting bigger. I think he needs to start spreading out these aspirin tokens. Although he could just make the giant bigger and bigger. I can't deal with it. It is hexproof, even if I do get a Skyclave Apparition. Not working. Putting it on that. He wants to gain life? But he's got to sack this to protect the golem next turn. I could block and just kill one of the aspirants. I don't hate that. Yeah. That seems fine to me, right? Sure. I'm really paying for that brain fault and not getting the second planes. You're gonna have to go back and watch the replay of that one and just see where the crack happened, because I know I was thinking it's got to be a planes. I said it's got to be a planes, and then for some reason I just had this redirect, not a planes. My opponent, my friend, what are you doing? He's definitely helping me get back in this game. Okay. Well, we're up to 40 life. This Hollowblade can still be indestructible for one more turn. That's a really good card for the opponent. Mix a baby with Ardenvale. This becomes something else. I don't think it ever becomes indestructible. No. Okie doke. Well, find the planes finally. He's already got double strike. It doesn't matter if I get Halvar out. And like I said, the Skyclave can't hit the Crystalline Golem. So I think our opponent doesn't really know how protection works. Okay. I got a lot of questions, but I think I should just take this one, just be happy with it and accept that things are going the way they are. Okay. No indestructible necessary this time. So, questionable play on this side of the field. Somewhat questionable play over on the other side of the field. However, going to take down the 5th game. Hey, let's do it. Hiya. Sure. That's fine. Go to a wrap up. Okay, so what can I say about the Boros Halvar deck? It was a little rough going. 5 games, 3 losses to start off, playing against a lot of black and red decks with tons of spot removal, and just couldn't really get anything going. Obviously, this deck is very much a glass cannon build. If you are fine with that kind of playstyle, hey, it's kind of a fun deck, especially when you can load up a bunch of equipments on somebody like you saw in the last game. That Season Hollow Blade, very hard to deal with if the opponent doesn't have some kind of exile effect or sacrifice effect. However, like we saw in the first games, the opponents did have plenty of ways of dealing with these Hollow Blades, and we just kind of folded like a cheap chair to those decks. Still, the deck's kind of cool. You got to make sure to be smarter than me when it comes to your mana. We do have double red, double white costs in Halvar and the Embercleave, so it's not the hardest thing. You just have to be slightly aware. I still don't know what happened in that 5th game where I kind of had that brain fart and things just went critically wrong. There might be a way to improve the deck to be a little bit more resilient or to get a little bit more card draw. Maybe the Scalds card, Showdown of the Scalds, could be worth looking into, giving our creatures +1/+1. Maybe that's something. Exile a bunch of cards, play out a lot of stuff. Something to look into. Anyways, if you have some recommendations for this deck, please let me know. Let me know if you've tried out a Boros equipment deck in Standard. This one definitely needs a little bit more time in the oven to figure things out and figure out how to deal with our pesky black and red enemies destroying our things and making us sacrifice things. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you again. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me how you're doing, what you've been playing, and all that good stuff. For now, take care, and see you in the next one.